is going to be recorded for anyone who'd like to view it online later. And I'm going to move the chair and block a little bit out of the way so that we can start standing up today. So welcome back, guys. And those of you joining on the video, hello. And today we're going to start with the feet nice and wide apart. Comfortable distance for you. You can have your feet slightly turned out if that suits your hips better. I prefer mine straight, but you go with whatever works for you. Soft in the knees, and then we just bounce a little bit into the feet. So you don't have to do this, but it helps to find your foot with a really firm connection into the ground. And if you prefer not to do the bouncing on the knees, just simply sway a little bit from side to side. Perfect. And once you feel like you've established that firm connection downwards, we're going to come back to the center, keep the knees a touch soft, and gently twist from side to side. So Kati Chakrasana, this practice, is just a lovely thing to do if you've got any tension in the back of the body, postural tension from being in any position. So it could be from standing up a lot or from bending over a lot, sitting down or driving a lot. And it's also nice to awaken the energy in the body, to stir up our center and get rid of those places where, or get rid of the blockages and the energy that gets stuck as well. So as you twist, just allowing the arms to be really heavy, the elbows, wrists and fingers to be nice and soft, your head following your movement, a little touch of engagement over the abdominal muscles, drawing the belly button just a little bit towards the spine. And then taking your awareness into your feet. So as you move, feel how your weight is distributed across the feet change as you twist from one side to the other. Be aware of the gentle rolling perhaps across the foot or the ankle. Perhaps you feel there's a press of one knee forwards, one knee backwards as you twist. Just observing what your body does. Doesn't matter if it's something different. And then as we move up the legs to the hips, observing how it feels in the hips. Perhaps you have a sense of one side contracting as the other side lengthens. The tap of the hands on the body. And in the torso again, the feeling of the muscles engage on one side of the body and lengthen on the other side of the body as you twist from side to side. Perhaps you can even feel different sensations across your shoulders, your neck, although we're not turning the head as such. But as the arms move, perhaps a stretch across the front of one side of the chest and then the other. So now we've had the feet still for a while, let's just pivot on the toes as well and explore how different that movement feels. So perhaps it feels a little bit freer, especially having done it with the feet still for so long. Perhaps you can feel the twist now coming into the fronts of the legs, the outside of the hips. A different feeling across the lowest part of the torso. And now let's add a little bend of the knees. So only if you want to, a little bend of the knees in the center, a little plie and twist. Again, keeping the abdominal muscles just gently engaged. And thinking a little bit about the buttock muscles as well. So it's useful to be able to to contract the buttock that you're twisting away from as you twist. That helps to protect the back, helps to stabilize the movement. As we do our gentle pliés, we can feel the muscles beginning to warm up, the blood flowing, the energy moving. We're going to enjoy that as we lose the bounce and continue to pivot. Then bring our feet to stillness and just sway the body back to its standing still position again. And here, closing the eyes just for a moment, observing the effect of the practice. Perhaps you feel a thrumming or tingling sensation in the hands, the feet, the arms. A sensation of ease coming through the body. Or perhaps you're aware of your discomfort, and that's okay too. It helps us to give a little TLC to those areas as we practice. Bring our awareness so we don't strain anything that's feeling a little fragile. So now bringing your hands to Namaste, palms together, center of the chest, lifting the chest up, and then taking your chin only towards your chest and feeling that gentle stretching down the back of the neck between the shoulder blades. Smiling to yourself. Checking that your shoulders are also down, that you haven't lifted your shoulders up towards your ears as you've taken the head forward. And when you're ready, raising your head, releasing your hands, opening your eyes. Awesome sauce. We're going to bring our feet a little bit closer together again. And we're just going to start at the bottom of the body and work our way up as we ease back into yoga practice after our summer break with a little sort of awakening movement session. So we're going to take the hands onto the hips. We're going to start by lifting the toes of one foot and then the other. So this encourages us to do a little bit of a wiggle with the hips, lengthening one leg to be straighter and bending the opposite knee. This is called duck walking, this particular movement, as our feet look like the flap of a duck's feet. There we are. So if you can, leave the rest of the body nice and upright. You can wiggle the hips as much or as little as you like. So it's possible to do this without wiggling the hips at all, just doing all the action in the knees. So if that suits you better, you can do that. If you like the wiggle of the hips, you can enjoy that a bit. So choose whichever variation suits your body the best. And then we're going to bring both feet to stillness. And we're going to do the same thing, but with the heels. So we're going to start up on our tiptoes and press one heel down and then the other. So we need to move in the knees quite a lot here. And there's a sensation of almost coming up and over, up and over. Lovely. I called this the squish walk because it feels like you're going to squish something underneath one heel and then the other. And I used to make you guys in class make the squish noise, squish, 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 squish. So if you're encouraged to do that at home, or if you feel a need to do that at home, you can squish your way through this walk as well. Very good. We're going to finish on both tiptoes and then just float the heels down to the floor. And here, just moving your weight a little bit backwards and forwards in the feet, trying to keep the feet down. I never manage that all of the time. So if your toes float up or your heels float up, don't worry too much about it. But we're just going to try and find our weight into the toes a bit more, into the heels, backwards and forwards a little bit. And then a little bit side to side as well. And so you might have enough range of movement to be able to move your hips to one side and your torso to the other. I don't want you to counterpose like that. I want you to try and move the whole body, she says, without falling over from one side to the other. Very good. And then if you want, you can do a little circle, which is always weird to look at if you're watching yourself on the screen, or if you're looking at a class of people doing this, because it makes everyone look drunk. And we'll go in the opposite direction as well. Just enjoying that sensation of keeping the feet down, keeping that grounding, that connection, but exploring where our weight can go. And then coming back to the center. And when you're in the center, take a moment, perhaps closing the eyes or just settling the arms down, settling yourself into your feet, and feel that your weight is in the center. It's not forward, it's not backwards, it's not one side or the other. It's just in the center. We get that connection around the center of the foot, in the toes, in the pads of the toes, the balls of the feet, the outside edges of the feet, around the heels. And then in the center of the foot, there's that sense of lightness. So let's develop that sense of lightness. Now we're grounded, developing that sense of lightness, lifting the arches up and drawing the knees up, lifting the pelvic floor, engaging the abdominal muscles a little. Let's turn the palms of the hands forward as we just draw the shoulder blades slightly behind the body and lengthen up the back of the neck, lifting the crown of the head. And now we're standing in Tadasana, our whole body lengthened away from the floor, but with that very firm grounding connection there on the floor itself. Take a moment to breathe here. Maybe explore how much more fully you can breathe. When you're standing tall, you haven't closed all the space in the torso. You've got so much more room to move the breath into the rib cage, in the lungs. Enjoy a few good full breaths. And if you want to breathe out through your mouth, you can. And as you breathe out through your mouth, you might notice a softening of the air, tension across the chest, the throat. And then just relaxing a little bit. So it's all well and good holding ourselves really rigid and tall, but every once in a while just softening and relaxing a little bit, the effort. And we're going to take one foot off the floor and give it a shake, and then the other foot off the floor and give it a shake. Very good. So today we're going to use our chairs at this point to give us a little bit of support so that we can balance. If you're happy to balance on one leg, then just go for it on one leg. But if not, using your chair for some sort of support. And it can be a really light touch. So the lighter the touch on the chair, the more work you're doing in your body. And the more you hold on to the chair, the less effort you have to make yourself stand tall. So you choose. And we're going to take our weight onto our left leg first and raise the right leg up. And just enough off the floor that you can make some circles with the ankle. So as you stand on your left leg, make sure you're using the buttock of your left leg. So squeeze your bottom a little bit. And lift in your belly muscles a little bit. You can have your right hand on your hip if you like. And it helps sometimes to look at a point of focus ahead of you that's not moving. And once you've done a few ankle circles left and right, we're just going to leave the knee up. And you can have it up at hip height if it's helpful, or lower down is fine. Wherever is good for you, and just swing the leg from the knee joint, hinging backwards and forwards. Very good. And then we're going to leave the toe pointing down and make some circular movements. So as if you were stirring with your toes in one direction and in the other. So if any of these movements don't suit you, if they feel not good in the hips, then you don't have to do them. You can do just a little bit more of some of the other movements instead. Then we're going to float this foot down to the floor, stand onto both legs and feel the effect of that practice. So you might feel that the buttock of your left leg has been strongly working, and the hip flexor, the point at the front of your right hip, has been strongly working. Okay, and it might not be that you feel that, that's okay too. So we'll do the other side. You can turn around if you want to, or you just squeezing the buttock of the right leg, lifting the left knee in front, and first beginning with some nice ankle circles. We're looking for circles that use the whole range of movement of the ankle. And by doing it like this with no weight on the ankle, we can explore that full range because there's no load on the joint. And keeping the belly muscles a little bit firm, and then just letting your knee hinge so you swing your low leg backwards and forwards. You can do this with the knee a little bit higher if you want to, a little bit lower, it doesn't matter, just going wherever is good for you. Once you've done that a little, just letting your toes point downwards and stirring your foot in one direction and stirring in the other. If you like, you can do a little bit more of that, or a little bit more knee swinging. And then gently floating that foot down to the floor, standing onto both feet and feeling what's been going on. So hopefully you feel like your hip flexors have done some work and your buttocks have done some work, which is good. Okay, so we've done movements that have been sort of scissor, like backwards and forwards. We're going to do some out to the side movements now as well. So coming back onto your left leg. And because we want to create a little bit of space to move, we will do this in two different ways. So if you've got a slidey floor like this, then that's great because you can slide your foot along it. If you're on carpet, you might want socks on, that might help. Or just do your best with what you've got, okay? So firming the belly, firming the buttock of the left thigh, we're going to slide the right foot forward. And then just draw a nice big circle and bring the right foot behind us. So sliding the foot forward, you can point the toe if you want to. You can have the ball of the foot on the floor, sliding the foot behind. So making a movement, a semicircle with our legs. And just doing what feels good here. So if it doesn't feel so good to move the hips so fully, then you can move it smaller circles. You can make the circle quite close to you by flexing the foot. You only need to point if you're making a wider circle. And then we're going to bring the feet back together. And then we're simply going to lengthen our right leg out to the side and back to the center. Out to the side and back to the center. Firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks. Let's do two more like this. Lovely job. Just taking a moment, maybe give the knees a bit of a soft jiggle, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to swap my chair around this time. Very good. So firm buttocks, firm belly, and pointing your toe forward and just making nice big semicircles with your left hip this time. Good. Now it might be, again, that you want to not point into the toes if it gives you cramp in your legs. We want to avoid that. And you might want to make smaller semicircles with your foot flexed. We're trying here, if possible, to move the rest of the body as little as you can. There's some movement, just not that much. Firm belly, firm buttocks. And then we'll bring the feet back together. Then we're going to raise the left leg out to the left and back to center. Again, firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks. It's not a huge movement, it's just a little movement. And you're only going as far as you need to feel that resistance of the body. And then we don't want to press through that. We're just doing up to there and release. This is our last one. Fantastic. And then softening the knees, giving perhaps yourself a little bit of a wiggle through the hips, We're going to swap back to the first side. We're going to do all of that, but on our tiptoes. So coming up onto your tiptoes, very good. Firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks. Just this time you can make a much smaller circle if you want to, making semicircles, and if you can, crossing the legs over each other behind the body and in front. So it's not about how far away from you your leg comes, that's not useful. It's just about creating the movement of the hip and the engagement of the buttocks. So the buttocks have 4 muscles in them, and the piriformis, the gluteus minimus, medimus, and maximus. And so we're trying to do movements that encourage these muscles, and they work in different planes of movement. We're going to come back to center, float the heels to the floor just for a moment, maybe bend the knees, give them a little bounce. And then belly firm, up onto tiptoes again, with the buttocks firm, just raising your leg out to the side and back to center. Just doing what feels good. So if it is a movement that doesn't suit you, just don't do it at all if you want to, or do a little less. We'll do one more. Excellent. Back to center. Soften the knees. We'll swap to the opposite side. And then we'll come up onto tiptoes here. Belly firm, buttocks firm. We're just going to draw a big circle backwards and forwards. Around the side. Crossing over the legs if possible, behind and in front of the body. Very nice. We'll do one more. And coming back to the center, floating the feet down, softening the knees. And then belly firm and buttocks firm, up onto tiptoes. And just releasing your left leg out to the left and back to center. Very good. We'll do one more. And then softening the knees again. Now, after all of that effort, you've probably got quite a lot of sensation in the buttocks and in the front of the hips, the outside of the hips, maybe into the low belly rather. So we're going to use our chairs to do a downward facing dog. So releasing your chair away from you and then stepping your feet slightly back. You're going to use the back of your chair, scoop your belly in, lengthen your torso down towards the floor. And here, with the knees nice and soft to begin with. So you can press the hands down, which gives you a bit of lift in the chest. And gently ease through one knee and then the other. If you want to straighten the legs slightly, you don't have to do that, but you can. And the other thing that you can do here, which is quite nice, is keeping both knees bent and gently sway your hips from side to side. So you get that lengthened sensation across the sides of the torso, particularly just above the hips. And then coming back to the center. We'll just take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out. And to come up, look towards your chair, walking towards your chair, standing upright for a moment, holding onto your chair for as long as you need to settle any feelings of dizziness if you have dizziness from doing downward dog. Okay, fantastic stuff, guys. So we're going to continue our movement up the body, starting into the spine now with some spinal undulations. So we often do these in class, so with the feet wide and the knees nice and soft. We're going to draw the elbows wide to open the chest and look up. And as you breathe out, reaching the arms in front of you as if you were curling over a ball, rounding through the spine, drawing the belly button in and curving through the back. Breathing in, opening the chest as you look up, dropping the elbows down, drawing the shoulder blades a little bit more together, and breathing out as you round over an imaginary ball in front of you. We're not leaning forward to come down, we're just leaning over. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. Firm belly, firm buttocks. Breathing in. Breathing out. We'll do one more. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in to stand tall. Reach the arms wide. Turn the palms down. As you breathe out, let the arms float down to the side. And if you want to, you can give yourself a little bit of a wiggle in the shoulders, in the hips. And in fact, we're going to do a bit of hip wiggling anyway. So with your hands on your hips and knees nice and soft, we're just going to make some hip circles. So it helps here to firm the belly muscles, drawing the belly button towards the spine, and let the buttocks work as well. So a little bit of, particularly in the tuck under, in the back bend, buttocks working. Go in this direction and in the opposite direction as well. And your movement can be as subtle as you need for it to be comfortable. And then we're going to try to do the same thing. So if you, like me, were putting your whole body into it, we're going to try to do the same thing, but isolate the movement to the hips. And if you were isolating the movement to the hips, you can do one with your whole body into it. So if you were, choose the opposite variation of whatever you were doing, and then go in both directions as well. Feels a bit more like belly dancing, this one, to me. There we are. I've never done any belly dancing, just want to put that out there. Super, coming back to the center. So we're going to do a little bit of, now our hips are nice and warm, a little bit of action to further engage the buttocks, but with our chairs, okay? So coming to face the back of your chair, and just resting your fingertips lightly. Feet hip width apart is quite good. Slightly wider if you want is fine, but closer together isn't helpful. And we're going to come up onto our tiptoes as we inhale, and down, float the heels to the floor as we exhale. So inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. This time, we're going to keep the feet on the floor. We're going to inhale here and exhale as we bend the knees. Inhaling straight legs. Exhaling, bending the knees, as if you were going to sit down, but you never get there. Inhaling, straight legs. Exhaling, bending the knees. We'll do one more, but we're going to hold it if you can. So exhale as you bend the knees this time. We're going to hold here with the knees nice and bent. Heels are on the floor, and firm the belly muscles and just gently roll the hips backwards and forwards. So as if you were sticking your tailbone out behind you and tucking your tailbone under. Keeping the rest of the body quite still if you can, and upright with the support of your chair. And then find the position that's between the two extremes of all the way tucked out and all the way tucked under. And just sit for a moment. One more deep breath in. And deep breath out. And then you're going to press through the legs. Press the feet down, squeeze the buttocks. Stand tall with your legs straight. And as you exhale, relax the arms down to the side. Excellent. Utkatasana, the chair pose. It's a really good one for getting the leg muscles working and for figuring out how our spines fit together. So this is good. So we're going to come side onto the chair now for a little bit of side bending. And so it's the same principle of having the feet directly underneath the hips. We use the chair for a little support. We're going to start with the right hand on the right hip. Standing tall, shoulder blades down, crown of the head lifted, belly engaged. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just gently folding towards your chair and inhaling back to center. We'll exhale towards the chair, side bend to the left side, inhaling back, and one more, exhaling and inhaling back. Very good. And so if you want to stick with that, with the side bend and the hand on your hip, you can. If you want to put your hands more into it, you can. So we're going to use our right hand this time. We're going to breathe in and up. Breathe out, just allow the right shoulder blade to sink down and really pin itself to the back and secure the right arm in the right shoulder socket. Breathe in again here, firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks. Breathe out as you gently reach over to the left with the right hand. We're going to breathe in back to the center. Breathing out, reaching over, firm belly, firm buttocks. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and reaching over. Very good. Breathing in back to the center. Turn the palm of your hand back to the right side and breathe out as you allow that arm to come down to your side again. Awesome sauce. Relax your arm away from the chair. Feel the difference on the left and right sides. Turning around or swinging your chair to the opposite side. Sorry, there's an awful lot of lifting the chairs. I can see you guys all doing this. Aces. Okay, so with the chair, just gently for support, feet hip width apart, left hand onto the left hip, standing tall, firming the belly and the buttocks. Breathing in here, breathing out a gentle side bend to your right side. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. Breathing in back to the center, relax your left hand down. You're going to breathe in, reach the left hand all the way up, and breathe out, secure the left shoulder blade down the back, secure the left arm into its socket. Breathe in again here, firm in the belly, breathing out as we reach the left hand over to the right. Breathing in back to center, breathing out and over. Breathing in back to center. Breathing out and reaching long. Breathe in back to center and turn the palm of the hand. Breathe out as you float the left hand back to the left side. Great stuff. Release the chair as well. Just give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. Awakening the sides of the body is a really useful thing to do. It really helps to move that stagnated energy. And the other thing that can help is twisting. And so we're going to do twisting just like we've done before on our tiptoes and with our chair for support. So here we're going to face towards the chair, feet hip width apart, belly and buttocks firm. Breathing in, coming up onto your tiptoes, and just breathing out here. Take your left hand first, breathing in, reach your left hand forward, right hand stays on the chair, look at your left hand as it comes up and over and down behind you as you breathe out. Reach the hand behind you so your hand never comes all the way down, and then you're going to breathe in as you reach the left hand all the way up. Turn back towards the chair, left hand comes down, heels come down to the floor. We're going to bend the knees in between. Super duper. Same thing again, firm belly and buttocks, still left side. Breathing in and up. Breathing out, relax the left hand down. Then breathe in, reaching all the way up. Look at your hand as it goes up. Breathing out as you reach all the way around behind you. Nice open twist. Breathing in as you reach all the way up again. And breathing out as you twist back to the front. Hand down, heels down. Soft knees in between. Aces. This time we're going to do a big sweeping circle so that arm will go all the way back and continue around, and then we'll do another circle around. Okay? So breathing in, belly and buttocks firm, coming up onto your tiptoes. Breathing out, left hand comes down to the left side. Breathing in, reach the left hand up and over, twisting through the torso. Breathing out as the hand comes back behind you and continues all the way down. Breathing in as you twist to the front with the torso, reach the left hand up in front of you. Breathing out as you reach the left hand behind you. Do you know what? We're going to do one more. So breathing in as you reach the left hand in front of you, facing forward, belly and buttocks firm, and breathing out as you reach the left hand behind you. Back to the center, hand onto your chair, heels to the floor, and gently release in the knees. Do the same thing to the right side now. So we're going to start with the firmness in the center of the body, breathing in and up. Breathing out, relax the right hand down to the right side. Breathing in, reach the right hand up, look at the right hand. Breathing out, reach the hand just behind you. Looking behind you as well if you can. Breathing in as you reach the right hand back up, and breathing out as you twist back towards the front, hands down, heels down, and bending softly into the knees. One more time like that. Belly and buttocks firm, breathing in and up. Breathing out, relax your right hand down. Breathing in, reach the right hand forward and up. Reaching over, looking behind you, twisting in the torso. Breathing out as you reach back up and over, back to center. Release your hand, release your heels, soften the knees. Good job, girls. Okay, so firm in the belly and the buttocks. Breathing in and up. We're doing full circles. Breathe out, release the right hand down. And then breathing in and reaching all the way up. Looking up, breathing out as you release the hand all the way down behind you. The hand comes forward. You twist forward again, breathing in, reaching the hand all the way up in front of you. Breathing out as you reach the hand all the way down behind you. Long arm in the right side. Breathing in, forward and up. Breathing out, back and down. Coming back to center, hand onto the chair, heels to the floor, softness in the knees. Very good. And then you can relax your arms, make any wriggling or twiddling that you need. And we're just going to take the opportunity to shake out our legs as well. So you don't need to shake out. Sometimes I encourage it, sometimes I don't. It depends what you're trying to achieve from the practice, but we don't want to leave anything tense in the body. So particularly in the calf muscles after this, you can even, using the chair for support, give your calf muscles a little bit of a massage and just sort of shake out any tension from the body. You don't need to do the crazy mad shaking if you don't want to, but I quite like to. It's quite nice. There we are. Okay, super duper. So we've done a few things with our chair. I'd like to do something with the wall now. I'll tell you how to do it with the chair as well, though. So we're going to do an opening of the front line of the energy of the body. So if you want to do this with the wall, you hold on, with the chair rather, you hold on to your chair. You're going to slide, let's say, the left foot back, and the left arm comes up and back as well. And if you want to, you can lift the left leg off the floor with the chair for support and just explore how that feels to open the front line of the body on the left side. So if the chair is easier for you, do it with the chair. And if you have a wall, then you can start this with the right hand on the wall and standing quite close to the wall, slide the left hand up the wall and the left foot back. So you start like this, and this might be enough for some people. And if you want more, you can release the left hand away from the wall, firm in the buttock and the belly, and release the left leg away from the wall at the same time. Wall for support. Just feeling that openness, keeping a little softness in the standing right leg. And when you're ready, floating your leg and hand back to their neutral position. I'm going to slide the left hand down the wall, do the same thing with the right side. So if you're using the chair, simply swapping sides. If you're using the wall, sliding your right hand up the wall, right leg back behind you. See if that's enough for you, perhaps it is. And if you want a little bit more, you can raise your right hand away from the wall, belly firm, and then right buttock firm as you lift the right leg if you want to. And feel an openness or a length down the front side of the body on that, the front of the body on that side. Keep a little softness to your standing knee. Deep breath in. And then releasing your hand back to the wall, your foot to the floor, sliding your hand back down, bringing yourself back into a neutral position. And we're going to finish, having done that beautiful opening, with a downward facing dog again. So on the hands on the back of your chair, walk your feet away. You're going to keep the knees nice and soft as we lengthen the torso. You can even push into the chair a little bit with the hands. We're trying to lengthen the torso towards the floor a little, just as if you were doing down dog on the floor, lengthening your chest towards your thighs. And then you can explore how it feels to lengthen the legs a little bit, one at a time or both at the same time if you want to. But keeping the belly scooped in, keeping that space between the shoulder blades, making just a touch of stabilizing effort, allowing the head to be between the arms, the back of the neck neutral, and then both knees bent and just wiggling your hips or swaying your tail from side to side. Doing that if it feels good, you know, if it feels like a nice releasing. And then to come up, we're going to bend the knees just a touch deeper, look towards your chair, walk towards your chair, come back into an upright position. Hold on to the chair for as long as you need to. And if you're not dizzy, just releasing the arms to the side, making any movements that feel good. Super duper. So before we sit down, actually, no, we're going to sit down. We can do this all sitting down, this next bit. So coming into a seated position. And hopefully it'll feel quite nice to do that after our big standing up session. So I know it's chair yoga, but with the people present in class today, I knew we could get away with doing most of it standing up. So this is all good. We're going to sit towards the front of our seat. So if I do this slightly, so not really into the back of the seat, but towards the front of the seat, trying to get that nice connection between the feet and the floor, and keeping the knees at about hip height or just under, not too low down. That's good. Hence the block underneath the feet. So here, firming the belly, feeling that lift in the torso, maybe even turning the palms of the hands to face forward as we draw the shoulder blades towards each other in the back. And we're going to bring our hands, keeping our body nice and upright here, bring our hands to the center of the chest, so our hands are in Namaste. And then we're going to do a couple of sort of neck and shoulder releases. So draw your chin towards your chest, keeping your back really upright and lifted. Then just gently rolling your left ear towards your left shoulder and coming back to the center. Rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder, then coming back to the center. So a little bit from one side to the other. Gentle, slow movements, only doing what feels comfortable, what feels easy, what comes naturally. Meeting the resistance offered by the body, not pushing through it, not striving, straining. Keeping the face nice and relaxed as you work. One more time to each side so that you finish in the center. And then gently raising your head and just taking the chin slightly up and back down to center. Relax the arms. Sometimes we put a bit of tension in the shoulders there. So relaxing the arms, just rolling the shoulders a little bit. Nice. I'm going to do some arm stretches while we're here. So interlacing the fingers, pressing the backs of the hands away from you. If interlacing the fingers doesn't work, just hold one wrist with the opposite hand. And then allow the upper body to round. This is the position we often find ourselves in, with the neck putting a little strain into the upper back, the position of the neck, sorry, putting strain into the upper back. But we very rarely stretch it with intention, which is what we're going to do now. So lengthening with intention, chin towards the chest, belly scooping in. Breathe into that space between the shoulder blades, or the tops of the back of the body, tops of the shoulders behind the body. And after your next exhalation, just sitting tall with the head and the chest, turning the palms out. Again, if you want to hold one wrist with one hand, that's fine. You're going to breathe in, reach the arms up to wherever they go, it doesn't matter how far. Breathe out, just settle the shoulders down. We've done lovely side bends. We're going to finish with a little bit of a swaying side bend to either side, so really firm in the belly. With the arms stretched as well, this feels a little bit different. Each side bend we've done achieves just a little bit more space and a little bit more space. Coming back to the center, separate the hands, gently float the arms down to the side. Very good. Going to take our hands behind us and hold on to our chair back behind you, and keep your elbows a little bit bent, but roll the elbows towards each other, and then you get a stretch in the chest. So here you can lean away from your chair as well to get even more stretch into the chest if you want to, and you can also raise your hands up your chair if you want to achieve a little bit more there, if you've got room to move into that space. If you can lift your chin if that's comfortable. You don't have to, you can keep the head in a neutral position if you prefer. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Just going to slide the hands down the chair as we come back to a more neutral position. Relax the arms for a moment by our side. And then we're going to take the hands behind. So take your left hand and draw it to your right hip behind you. And you can do this by interlacing the fingers behind the body if you want, and drawing them over to one side, or simply holding your hand in position there, whichever suits your arms the best. So you can be holding the wrist or the fingers or the palm, or interlacing the fingers. Whatever you're doing, your opposite elbow, tuck it in behind you. So your right elbow, tuck it in behind you. And then you get this lovely openness across the shoulder, across the chest. And we're going to try not to overarch the back, so firm in the belly. And then explore what feels good to move with your head. So you can turn to look at the right shoulder, turn to look at the left shoulder. Take your right ear to your right shoulder, or left ear to your left shoulder rather. Right ear to your right shoulder, that doesn't feel so good for me. The other way feels great. And you can try doing some of those semicircles that we did before. So whichever movements feel like they're having the best effect for you, whether it's the turning, the twisting, or the really slow and gentle rolling. Just exploring. When you're ready, you can come back to the center and just release the arms. We're going to release them completely for a moment and make any movements that feel good with the shoulders. Hopefully that feels great now on that left side of the body. We'll shake out the wrists. I've got really funny, cool sensations coming down the forearms here. Maybe you've got some tingling in your fingertips or similar. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. So if you want to, you can interlace the fingers and draw the right arm across to the left hip, or you can do this just with your hands. Whatever you're going to do, tuck that left elbow in behind you. Don't arch the spine if you can avoid it. firm your belly muscles, draw the shoulder blades maybe a touch together, feel the openness on the right side of the chest, and begin with some gentle movements of the head. Maybe ear to shoulder, maybe twisting. If there's one that feels good, you can hold it, of course. Don't push through any resistance the body offers, just allowing an exploration of sensation. Rolling gently the head in semicircles if you prefer. Rolling D-shaped circles, there's no such thing, D-shapes. Enjoying that connection with your body. When you're ready, coming back to the center, releasing the arms, allowing a little bit of undulating movement through your chest, your arms, your shoulders, whatever feels good. And in mat-based practice, we often come to relaxation after a pose called the fish pose, which is with the hands behind the body, sitting on the hands, rolling the shoulders open, and really opening the chest. And these practices that we've just done have a very similar effect. And relaxation immediately after them is even more effective. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to settle ourselves back into the back of the chair. Feel free if you'd like to lie down or if you'd like to recline on a couch, if you'd like to wrap yourself in a blanket. Any of these things are good. And then just resting your hands wherever is comfortable. It could be that you carry your right hand in your left hand. That's quite traditional. It could be that you just have the palms of your hands resting. Nestling yourself back, feeling the support of the chair. Closing your eyes. Taking a moment to relax any effort from your practice, but also to observe the effect of your practice. Observe where the body feels more at ease, where the breath is able to move a little bit more freely, where you feel lengthened, strengthened, warmed. Perhaps you have the sensation of moving energy in the body as well, a thrilling, tingling, or vibration. If you don't feel any of those things, that's okay too. Now drawing a deep breath in and sighing out through the mouth. We're going to repeat 3 more times. A deep breath in, let all of your effort go. A deep breath in, let your muscles begin to relax. Last breath in and surrender your weight into your chair, into the floor. Allow your breath to soften into its natural rhythm, falling away into silence. Taking your awareness into your forehead, feeling it soften, spread. The area around your eyes relaxing, your tongue, your jaw releasing. Take your awareness through the body. Allow it to feel heavy, warm, supported, resting, relaxing. Feel the sensation of air on your face. the contact between your feet and the floor or the block, your hands, and your legs. Feel the sensation of your clothes moving on your skin as you breathe. And then gently deepen your breath, inhaling for the count of 3 and exhaling for the count of 3. Inhaling for the count of 3 and exhaling for the count of 3. Inhaling light, energy, harmony. Exhaling tension, fatigue, negativity. Inhaling light, energy, harmony. Exhaling tension, fatigue, negativity. Allow your breath to fall in this rhythm whenever you're aware of it, relaxing deeper with every exhalation. Gently bring your awareness back to this time, this place. Deepening your breath and moving your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in and stretch the arms. Maybe yawning. Stretch the legs if it feels comfy. And finish by bringing the hands together and rubbing them vigorously. Getting lots of heat into the hands, movement into the arms and shoulders, pressing them firmly, rubbing them hard. When they begin to feel warm, or maybe they're quite warm, placing them over the eyes. So that warmth softens and releases the area around your eyes, softening your shoulders down as well. Blinking into your palms a couple of times, releasing your hands down as you open your eyes. Namaste, guys. Thank you for joining me for this lovely practice, getting back into the swing of things. For those of you who are on the video, enjoy the rest of your week. See you again soon.